answer any legal questions that you may have. Anything from accident to zone. Dial up the phones 321-282-1055. Plenty of information on the website treat it like Netflix if you want. Like a really boring Netflix. You know what I mean? I know Shark Week might be over. But you can binge watch this. I know, look, man. We're all about honesty. You're fitting me in. To my right is the and from our sister station on the other side of this wall, right? Mr. New homeowner, all of a sudden, you know, it's like Roto Road, but really?
Yeah, no, I had a light burst last night. It's just crazy. In the middle of the night, it always happens at like 2 in the morning. You try to call Florida. They say 24 hours.
The beautiful Brianna is here, making sure that we're on the air, on social media. I have cameras everywhere. This is the first time we've ever not had a camera, like leaning against the staple. You know what I mean? In fact, if anyone needs to staple anything, you're actually okay doing it this week for the first time ever. Joffrey. I mean, Amazon is right there. So we have this light on the camera over here. I don't know if it's really doing anything or not, but I mean, so today on the program, two very important things to talk about. 3, 2, 1, 3. Is this possible? Is this a real thing that our government can do to us? If we owe them some money, it's typically $50,000 or more, they're going to not prevent us from going on our 25th wedding anniversary to Paris.
Or taking the yacht out.
Taking the McDillon yacht out, you know what I mean?
Wow.
We can't even go to the Bahamas. Now, to me, I think it's complete and utter BS. Listen to me, United States government.
Uh-oh.
There's no reason in the world that you should be threatening and actually taking away passports of your citizens. Well, I've already booked my flight, right? I've already booked my flight to Cancun or Europe or wherever I'm going to go. I've already booked my flight. Yet because I owe you money, you're going to take away my passport. Look, the IRS is the biggest, most powerful collection agency in the entire planet, right? They already can just go into your bank account and take your money. They can already call your employer and garnish your wages, right? I mean, that's powerful enough. Now they're going to be able to take away your passport, your ability to freely travel.
So is the passport, taking away the passport, is that the last resort?
No, it's really not. That's a funny thing.
I mean,
it's
garnish
not like,
your wages first and then take your passport.
It seems to me they're threatening this passport thing before they do any of the other stuff.
Wow.
So it's scary to people. I mean, it is really a frightening concept that they can come in and just take away your passport. Have I seen them do it yet? I haven't. But I know I'm seeing letters now, which I think
Official
that means
letters.
it's from the IRS, saying they're going to take away your passport for not paying your IRS debt. Look, I think we should all pay our taxes. You know, I mean, I really do.
Sure.
But do you understand, as a business owner, maybe like a new business owner, when you're investing all of this money in your company, you know, hiring people, putting people in the job force, that sometimes you get a little bit behind. You're working 20 hours a day. Sometimes you get a little bit behind in your taxes. It just is a natural thing for self-employed people, for people who own their own business, for 1099 employees, so to speak. It's a natural thing to get behind with the IRS. But now they're saying, look, we're not messing around. We're going to inhibit your ability to actually cross any border.
So this is for 50,000 or more.
That's what I'm hearing. I mean, that's what I'm hearing is that $50,000 or more, they're going to send this threatening letter, threatening to take away your passport.
Well, at least I won't have to worry about it.
The,
I mean, 50,000.
but you know, 50,000 happens really quickly. I mean, well, let's say you were depressed for a few years. You know, I mean, we've all been through difficult times here in the studio. Let's just say that you got depressed and you're like, look, I can't deal with filing my taxes. I can't do it. I just, I have enough drama in my life. I just can't even muster the thought of going on TurboTax or going to that accountant's office and getting all my W-2s together. I can't do it. So what the IRS does is they actually file the returns for you. They do a substitute return. And when they do that, they put you sort of at the highest tax bracket.
Of course.
And you owe immediately like 50 grand, right? And this is because, let's say I want to go to Montreal. No, can't go. Toronto, can't go. You cannot cross the border because you owe them money. I mean,
so what's next?
I mean, thank God there are some ways. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't know what they could, like, arrest you. I mean, I don't know. We don't have debtor prison, since we beat them in Boston, the Brits, we took, in that Tea Party thing, we don't have debtor prison anymore for that reason. That's why we went to war with them, is because we didn't want debtor prison, essentially. But now, I mean, this is getting close to crossing the line, if you want to ask me. I want to hear your thoughts, Mick Dolan. And you can disagree with me. I mean, this show is not about agreeing with Justin Clark.
Well, it's a scary thing when they're going that far. I mean, it's not enough to garnish the wages, tell your employer.
Without having to sue me? You don't have to sue me. Just send me a letter. You can go into my Wells Fargo account and take my money. But yet now you're not going to let me go on my honeymoon that I've already booked?
You have to kind of get in the mind of the government. What would be the purpose? What do they think they're going to accomplish by this?
That you're going to call them and pay them, I guess. I mean,
that's
the only thing that you can really think of.
Attention getter?
Yep.
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, I think garnishing wages is probably the I can understand that, but I don't understand that. Is it? Are they taking it away just so you could?
So you can't flee.
So you can't flee.
Yeah.
I mean, like that they know that you're there. That you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That they'll get their money sooner or later, someday.
I mean, there must.
I don't know.
There must have been a meeting somewhere in Washington D.C. and they're like, "Hey, great idea. Let's take away their passports.
Really?
Because if we do that, they're not going to go move to Panama." I don't know. Were people fleeing to Panama or were they fleeing to Colombia? I don't know, but I don't think so. I don't think there was a mass exodus.
No.
In fact. We could probably use a mass
really,
exodus right around now.
Out of here.
So I don't know. I think it's more of a matter of just scaring people into calling them and overpaying sometimes even for the taxes that they owe. So listen to me. My name is Justin Clark. If you owe money to the IRS, they can now officially, and they are, taking away people's passports and their ability to get on an airplane and go wherever the hell they want. Can you believe that? So get ahead of it. Look, do not get too far behind this issue because once you get to 100 grand, 200 grand, I mean, it can become a problem. I mean, this is a real issue. There's several ways to solve the tax problem. That's what we do at the office. 321-282-1055. 3 main ways to solve this IRS problem, by the way. All right. The first one is an offer and compromise, fancy term for settlement. You know what a settlement is. Let's say you owe American Express $10,000, man. And you're like, look, I can't pay it. I lost my job, whatever. So you call American Express and you say, I'll give you $2 grand. Will you go away? Settlement, right? You settled with American Express. It's the same thing with the IRS. They do the exact same thing. It's just called an offer and compromise. Fancy term for settlement. So you owe them 100 grand. I say, look, IRS, I represent John Smith. He wants to be a good tax-paying citizen. He doesn't want to be behind. Doesn't want you to take away his passport for sure. Can we work out some kind of deal? It takes about 9 months generally to actually get through the entire offer and compromise situation. Generally speaking, you can settle that for a very small amount of money. Pennies on the dollar. I mean, pennies on the dollar. So if you do owe money to the IRS as opposed to letting them take away your passport, inhibiting your ability to move freely like a regular human being, then let's get ahead of it. Let's settle that debt so you don't have to worry about it. So you don't have to stress anymore, The only thing about an offer and compromise, you have to be a good boy for the next 5 years, meaning you can't...
Got to pay up.
be behind. You have to continue to file your returns
Right.
for the next 5
You can't
years. You
roll
have
up
to
some more debt.
Yeah, if you owe more money, you have to continue to pay that every year. And if you drop out of it, if you don't file for whatever reason, they will rip away the settlement and say, "Oh, sorry, just joking.
Now you owe
Settlement's off."
Yeah,
You know.
the whole thing.
So if you have problems with the IRS, listen to me very carefully. I have told you on this show before that they are allowed to take away your passport, but I've never seen them take away people's passport. Now I have. Over the last 2 weeks, I have seen the Internal Revenue Service sending letters to my clients saying they're about to rip away their passport. If you owe money to the IRS, what do you do? What options do you have? Right on the other side of this break. My name is Justin Clark. Behind the Law, Bud 94.1.
I think we got a guest there. Howdy.
Steve, Mick,
No worries, Steve.
Brianna,
Good to see you.
Skid.
I haven't seen it since your daughter, right?
What's up, bro? Yeah.
Wow.
Sophia.
Man.
This is my friend Steve.
I haven't seen you
And this
since
is
you
my
were a baby.
nephew Christian.
Hey, buddy.
Have a seat.
All right. Good.
Thanks for coming. I know short notice.
Short.
12 hours is a lot.
So you want to use this one?
Yeah, I'll use this one.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
No idea what we're going to talk about.
I mean, you know,
It's
we
okay.
have the
Join the
regular
club.
we have the regular solar questions everyone else has,
Oh, okay.
right? I mean, we're just essentially like, oh, we're considering changing our AC unit or to get solar or just go back to AC. He's a solar guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we got questions.
Maybe we have time.
I'm very intrigued by that.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
How long is this show?
We're gonna have about 28 minutes together.
Do you have a water? Can I have a water, please? Thank you. We can share this, Justin.
Man, I love sharing with you.
Where's the little Justin Clark waters?
Yeah, that's a great point.
I've had people come in here and I need a water. I'm like, we got a water
Yeah.
thing. Well, that one just looks so cool.
Yeah, I like it. We should
All right.
stock them up over here.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready when you are.
You ready? All right.
I'm gonna bring you on in like 6 minutes.
All right.
Here we go. Coming down.
There's mine.
Out mics.
Welcome back to the show. My name is Justin Clark. You're here with an Orlando radio legend named Mick Dole, and Skid from across the hall. The beautiful Brianna is making sure we're live on a few different cameras, I guess, today. No stapler tripods, which I love. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
First
You know
time ever.
you've
It only
made
took
it
a
big.
year. It
You
only took a
know
year and a
you've
half.
made it big when there's no staplers supporting the camera. There you go.
This is unbelievable. Seriously, Mick, the tripods cost like $7. It took a year and a half to spend $14 for 2 tripods to actually not use staplers.
That's $14.
It was in the budget.
Unreal. 321-282-1055. Many of your questions can also be answered on the website, www.youhavepower.com. You can watch the show live on Facebook or watch any past show at ATTY Justin Clark.
Binge watch.
It's like a boring Netflix, as we said earlier. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy is annoying me already. But, you know, I suck you in. That's what I do.
That's
Right, Mick?
Well, the information is so good.
Oh, yeah, right.
You have to
Liar.
listen. No, it's true. I'm being half serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Half
Half
serious.
serious.
Half serious.
Yeah.
So, like, you think a little more than half or a little less than half?
I'd
If you
say
had to go on one side.
60%.
Oh, wow.
60. Well, that's more.
good. Look,
That is more.
dude, I'd win
At
an
least you got that.
you win an
Yeah.
election to 60%. I mean,
Exactly.
like-
And you don't have to do a runoff either. With 60%.
so we're talking about taxes. We're talking about how the Internal Revenue Service, when they send that letter, you know, you go to the mailbox, you get that letter with the little green sticky thing
Oh,
on
yeah.
top.
Oh, God.
And you're scared as hell because that says certified mail and it says IRS or Department of Treasury on it. You're like, oh no, you know what? I just need to go on vacation before I even open this thing. Like you leave it there for 3 or 4 days because you don't want to open it.
Yeah.
Right? This is a scary, scary thing because let's make no mistake, the IRS can come take your money without having to sue you. American Express has to file a lawsuit, have someone come knock on your door, serve you with papers. You have 20 days to respond. You can drag it out for 2 years if you want. The IRS literally just has to send you a letter, and the letter says, Notice of Intent to Levy.
Yeah.
So you know, everyone has their little Wells Fargo app now, right, on your phone. So you go, you're like, oh, I have 3,000 or 2,000 or whatever you have in there. Like, oh, you know, thank goodness. You literally will pull up your Wells Fargo app and you have zero because the government took it because you owe them money. They don't have to sue you. So you need to get ahead of this tax thing. You have to get ahead of this tax thing. But the thing that is really driving me crazy, and listen to me, government. Listen to me. You're crossing the line here. They're taking away people's passports if you owe them money. I think it's BS, guys. I really fully believe this is crossing the line. I don't think it's constitutional. You're saying to me that because I owe you money, I cannot go to Canada. Not that I want to go to Canada because that's where the cold weather comes from.
Yeah.
You know, not that I want to go there even. But now you say I can't because I owe you money?
Yeah.
I think it's garbage.
Yeah.
I think it's terrible.
Do you think that this can be challenged legally?
Oh, I think it's going to be challenged. You know, I mean, it's going to.
Well, how do you challenge the IRS?
You have to like be one of these lawyers in D.C. who does the Supreme Court thing, basically. I mean, someone's got to do it, but.
And this is brand new.
This is brand new. I mean, this is. They've been talking about it for a year. We've been talking about it on this show as a possibility for a year. But I mean, I'm the one in the trenches. You know, I'm the one that's actually representing clients dealing with this garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm now seeing letters. Only over the last 2 weeks, maybe. I've been seeing 3, 4, 5 letters of clients are coming in like, what does this mean? I'm like, well, it means what I've been talking. I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, I think it's actually happening. They're actually going to take away your passport for owing money to the IRS. But, ladies and gentlemen, there are ways to deal with it. All right? Let's not get behind it, though. Let's get ahead of it. Let's not bury our heads in the sand. There are ways to deal with these IRS problems. They want to strike a deal. They're actually not terrible people. The agents that we work with want to work with us. You know, we work with them all the time. They're like, look, all right. We even talk, I'll have like a stack of 5 files, 5 clients who, I'm like, all right, so since I have you here, Johnny Agent, can we just knock them all out and you take over? I mean, it's really a pleasant process for us working with them because, you know, they get paid by the hour. It's not like a commission job. You know, they don't get paid more if they collect more. Mm-hmm. They kind of want to just knock them out too. So, right, look, all right, let's knock this one out, this one out, this one out. It's just a process. But if you bury your head in the sand, it's a process that's going to get money taken out of your account, money taken out of your paycheck, and inhibit now your ability to travel overseas.
Are they doing the passport before they're garnishing the wages?
Same time, yeah.
Same time.
Yeah, it's all happening at the same time. There's no like steps. They're not like they're too big to be intelligent enough to say, well, we're going to take Johnny's money, then we're going to take his passport. It just sort of all happens at the same time, you know, whenever they feel like it. Yeah.
Save a little money.
Yeah, exactly. But and while we're talking about taxes, by the way, it makes me think about something that a lot of us have had to make a decision on in recent years, basically, especially even like the last couple years. I hear people come to me and say, look, your AC looks a little aged, right?
Yeah. Especially
in July. I woke up yesterday, I took the garbage out at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was listening to the radio, and they said it was 98 degrees already, heat index. You know, it's hot this time of year.
Yeah, it is.
It is a very, very hot time of year to live in Central Florida, for sure. And of course, this is the time of year where ACs go bad, or at least when you notice your AC is not working well, right?
Yeah.
And when your AC is not working well and it's 98 degrees outside, your house feels hot. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Thanks for putting that on my mind right now after I just had a water pipe burst last night. Thanks.
So you're next.
Don't say that.
You're next.
I think you need a GC, pal. You got a lot of issues. So what happens when you're sitting at home and you realize that something's wrong with your AC unit? Because air conditioning units are not cheap. I mean, have you had to replace an AC unit in the last few years?
Oh yeah, no, I did in my last house.
I mean, you're looking at $3,000, $4,000, $6,000.
I think it was 6 for me.
I mean, I've seen the prices sort of skyrocket, and you don't really know who to trust either. You know, AC guys are like, okay, are you licensed? They're like, oh yeah, of course I am. And they're like, well, let me see the license. And,
it's back to my house.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, absolutely. The guy doesn't even have a driver's license. They don't want an AC license. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to get a good one, obviously.
And there's another option though, and I wanted to bring my good friend in here. His name is Stephen Bader. IQ Power Solar, the only solar company that I really trust. Steve, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Well, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in here. I let him know 2 weeks ago that we were going to do this show, so he's very prepped, of course.
Oh, very nice.
For doing the program today. So, Steve, so Steve, you must know how this conversation goes. It must be the same conversation with half of your clientele. Look, my house is hot, right? And for the last 50 years of my life, all I've known is either a wall AC unit or central heat and air. I mean, that's what I know, right? That's what I know. But my understanding is there may be a better option. Tell me what that option may be.
Well, one of the reasons I did the show on such short notice is I wanted to ask me the same types of questions that homeowners ask me without really, having too much research in solar. But I don't believe in solar to replace an AC.
Oh.
I think you should get an AC.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, this is why I wanted to have you on, because as a consumer, we don't know these things. Go ahead.
Well, usually, if you're in a home, let's say it's a 2,000 square foot home and you have a 5-ton AC and 2 kids and a wife, a 4-person household, and you have a bad AC in it, you have maybe a $300 electric bill. The value of solar is, and most of our customers and clients come to us, their goal is to eliminate that debt. It's kind of a debt that everyone just accepts. People will have a $350 electric bill and just keep paying it every month, and it increases.
Gotta have power.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they won't buy a newer car because they don't want a $275 car payment versus a $190 car payment. I think it's unique.
It's true. I mean, I think about this all the time, because my electric bill is $400. I mean, it is definitely $400 this time of year.
Oh my
and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's a big monthly nut. It
It
really
is.
is. I mean,
It is.
this is you're talking about transportation should cost you $400. A car
It's
or maybe
huge
gas.
Range Rover.
Hey.
Huge Range Rover.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, this is a big monthly nut that we're paying for electricity. There's no doubt about it. And I think in Florida is actually a little more expensive because of the heat.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think that we're just used to it. We're used to having expensive electricity bills. Have you gotten a new one at your house yet?
Not yet,
Okay.
but I,
Well.
I have always made sure to turn up my thermostat to 85.
Yeah.
And just tell everybody, just deal with it until maybe come
He just-
September.
He just
Late
wears a lot of
September.
deodorant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but he spends $500 a month in antiperspirant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when I leave in the morning,
Yeah.
I turn it up to 80.
Yeah.
Keep it at 77 normally.
Really?
But 85,
Well,
really, when my
you get
AC
used
went
to it
up,
after a while.
I bet.
It's either that or live in a sauna,
Well, I think you are living in a store.
Well,
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so fit.
yeah, what can I say?
So,
Svelte tiger.
Stephen Bader, IQ Power Solar. We're talking about electricity bills, $400, $300, right? And we've just grown accustomed as Central Floridians to paying those sort of numbers. That's an astronomical amount of money per month, I think, to pay. And you have other options. Please talk to me about them, and then we're going to beat you up with a lot of questions.
That's cool. Well, the first thing we do is we go into a home and we really deeply analyze all of the electric waste and
Windows.
consumption. We really don't. We're not just a general contractor. We're more of a renewable energy, photovoltaic specialist. But one of our key philosophies at IQ Power is reduce before you produce. So you want to reduce electric waste before you produce electricity, because producing electricity is the most expensive aspect. But what's really funny is both of you guys instinctively talk about how you leave your AC at an uncomfortable temperature.
Yeah.
People don't even realize, but the first thing that deteriorates when you have a high electric bill is your quality of life. I'm not doing that for anybody.
Yeah.
So what we do is we go into a house, we make sure that you have a really efficient, hot water heating system. How are you guys, people don't realize it, but you're spending so much money, especially you, Justin, showering.
Whoa.
Taking your kids, your wife, I know you don't shower that much, but in general,
I take baths, bro.
and long ones, I bet too. Real hot, electric, heated baths. But, and then
There's where it's $400.
and what's crazy is how many.
Thank you for
people-
joining us on the program today. That was Steve Bader, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. How can they reach you? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
What's crazy is how many people neglect, their attic space, because what we find is less than 8 out of 10 of our clients, when we first meet them, have insulation in their attic that's even up to current code, because it's R30 now. It used to be R19,
Yeah.
and what that does is now your AC unit's working an extra 2 hours a day to basically help cool the heat in the attic that's conductively transferring through your ceiling. So. And that's such a cheap, inexpensive fix. It's so much cheaper, probably 800% cheaper than producing the electricity that's being wasted. So we address these tiny little inexpensive things, and it ends up saving, like, consumer $14,000 to $18,000 on their quote. Not to mention extending the life of your AC unit.
Let me cut right to the chase.
Okay.
How much does it cost to put those panels on my roof, and then how much is my electricity bill once I do that?
Well, roughly. So it's hard to say that, and I'll tell you why. Because all this solar data is national average, and it's federal, based on federal statistics.
Let me break it down. Let me ask you a different way.
Okay.
Let's say I go through the whole solar thing, right? I'm going to transition into a solar energy type of lifestyle,
Okay.
right? So I'm tired of paying $400 per month for electricity. I'm not even... My house isn't even cold. And in fact, my house is hot, and I'm still paying $400 a month for electricity. I'm sick and tired of doing it. There's another option out there with tax credits. You actually get tax credits for putting these solar panels on your roof. So if you decide to turn to solar, how much does it cost, and what does your electricity bill go down to every month in the next half hour? My name is Justin Clark. Behind the Law, Bud 94.1.
That's what we call a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I learned it in my ham operator radio school.
1 second, guys. I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Thanks for coming. How you been?
Good, man.
Good to see you. It's been a little bit.
You're in your zone, huh? I've never seen you talk this much.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Hey,
Gosh, she's
how are you
so
guys?
big, man.
I know, right? Stand up. Let's see how tall you are. No?
Dude, I haven't seen her since
You know, he
the
rides
Tiki-
horses a lot, too.
Tiki bar. Oh my gosh, she's riding a horse. I'm gonna show her a picture of my horse.
Oh, yeah. And she
You're
jumps.
doing stadium, man. You're doing stadium.
Yeah,
horses,
she
huh?
canters all the time, right?
Wow.
You canter.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Um,
How high do you jump, would you say?
I
No?
can't read that. It's upside
Show,
down.
show Steve.
What?
That high?
Perfect. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
how do you do that?
Dad hates it.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
Here's my horse.
Daddy hates it, right? Let me see your horse. OMG.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sophie, you want to see?
It's a Dutch Romeo. Frisian sport horse.
I remember when I was riding, I tried to canter. It scared the heck out of me. I think it was your age,
Oh,
too.
really?
Worst day
Yeah.
that pony ever had.
Well, last horse I was on bucked me years ago.
It was at a bar in California.
the Iron Horse, the fucking dog horse.
You guys
All right,
ready?
we're ready. We're doing.
All right. Here we go. Out mics.
Welcome back to the show. My name is Justin Clark. Behind the Law, Bud 94.1. Plenty of answers to your questions at 321-282-1055 www.youhavepower.com. Watch us live on Facebook at ATTY Justin Clark. Watch a show Central Florida's 27 Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Orlando radio legend McDonald. Lucky to have him here. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good to see you. I missed you last week.
Yeah.
You didn't miss me, I can tell. You know, you can just feel when someone missed you or they didn't miss you. I feel like you didn't miss me.
Yeah.
With Skitty, I can tell missed me. He's like, hey,
I
man, I
missed-
missed you last week.
what-
What's
what's
up?
going on?
What are we doing
I've got
here?
a face you can trust. Though. It's made for radio, but it's a face you can trust.
From across the hall, 103.1 The Wolf, Skid.
How are ya?
What's up, pal?
I'm doing great, man.
You had a little issues last night with some piping in your
Yeah, I
house,
had a
guess.
water pipe just burst in the middle of the night, so that was fun.
The beautiful Brianna is here, making sure we're live on a bunch of different media outlets, I guess, right?
Platforms.
You know what platforms, whatever. I don't even care what it's called. You know what I've realized is everyone's saying, look, you can't do TV advertising because it's too fragmented. You know, you can't advertise on the radio because there are too many stations. We're gonna concentrate on social media. I'm like, bro, social media is fragmented too. You've got
Yeah.
Facebook. Facebook's doing real well right now, by the way. Do you see the stocks plummet?
What?
I mean, they
No,
plummeted.
really?
They
Oh
lost
my
more
gosh.
Are they worse than Papa John's right now?
Dude, it's
Probably.
close.
Really?
mean,
Is that
yeah,
bad?
About
it's
what is it,
pretty close.
140 million?
Wow.
They
He lost
in one day.
He lost like $15 billion yesterday or something.
Are you
This guy.
kidding
Yeah,
me?
they're trying to remove him from the board or as CEO or whatever he is.
Who,
Wow.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, and he doesn't care. He's like, whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all set. So anyway, it's
Wow.
fragmented, right? So I'm trying to tell Brianna here, who's our expert in social media, to put us on as many places as she can. So now we have like camera here, camera here, camera here, camera here. I don't even know like what to look at anymore. I'm confused.
Cameras everywhere.
Now, Mick, do you have a good side or and a bad side, or would you use it all good sides for you?
It's all good.
Yeah, I can't figure out. I'm waiting on Brianna to tell me sort of what my good side and bad side is. This side? All right. So I'm gonna always be talking to you look like this way. How about that, Skid? You good with this?
Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm looking at you in a whole different light now.
My good. 321-282-1055. We're gonna talk about solar energy and how solar could potentially save you a lot of money per month. My good friend Stephen Bader, IQ Power Solar. How do they find more information about you guys, Steve?
Well, they can go to iqpowersolar.com. We just got ranked the top, in the top 500 solar contractors for the 5th year in a row. I believe we're 291 now in the world, solar power world online. Solarreviews.com. We're pretty high ranked in the state and the country.
So if I were to get solar, I'm tired of paying $300 a month for my electricity bill. I'm tired of being hot. How much does my AC bill go down to every month?
Okay. Well, to simplify,
You're not making promises. Give us an idea.
Yeah. To simplify it, if a consumer has a $300 bill, we would probably target getting your bill to maybe an average of $30 to $40 a month.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And the best way to answer this, is this way, because every home would have a different gross investment. But if you have a $400 bill, we can get your bill to $50, $60. We can get your bill all the way down to zero, but the cost, the ROI gets, it's better right around that cherry point. And then we can get you in a program where your payment is maybe $250. So, and then you pay that off eventually.
So tell me how it works. Let's cut right to the chase. So obviously there's a cost for buying these things that go on my roof. It looks pretty expensive. So there's obviously a cost there. My vision is, or my understanding might be, that we try to finance the cost of actually putting those things on the roof, and then we pay that per month for a few years or whatever, right? But we try to make that payment less than what the AC bill would be, and then at some point you own that. You don't have to pay it anymore, and you have no AC bill. Tell us how this really works.
Okay, so I'm going to create an example.
Okay.
Because I can tell you're frustrated with the clarity.
I'm just curious. I want to know how it works.
So $200 electric bill.
Okay.
Husband, wife, and an 8-year-old child. We go into their house. We evaluate their systems. We come up with a package including solar panels that go on the roof.
Right.
And it reduces and produces roughly $180 a month, meaning that their average bill is now $20 a month. We're going to find a program with them that the payment's about $116, and we're able to do that because solar financing is sophisticated so much. They have ridiculously low interest rates on uncollateralized loans.
Still.
Yeah, still. And they work with the federal tax credit. Part of the program includes that tax credit portion, and they make it as much as 20 years, with no prepayment penalties. And it's really important to us that we have an option that doesn't lien the house, because we don't ever want to be in a situation, So that's really one of our value propositions. We're talking about 5-6% interest rates on uncollateralized loans with no prepayment penalty.
And I think we'll get back to that, because I imagine having solar could affect the value of your home, maybe increase the value of your home. But I want to get to that in a moment, because I want to really, really try to figure out how much the solar thing may cost me. Do you find that most of the time when you go in and talk to a homeowner and you find out how much they're paying per month for their electricity bill, do you find that you can find a program for them that will lower their net expenditure every month, because they got to pay for the things on the ceiling or whatever they are, right? So there's obviously a payment that goes to that. Do you find that you can net help them?
Every day. I mean, literally 100%. We barely ever come across a scenario where we can.
All right, so let's talk about the tax credits then, because I'm very mad at the government right now as is, because they're taking away my clients' passports. Or not my clients, because I'm helping my clients, but for random people, they're taking away their passports for owing them taxes. My understanding is if you get solar, first of all, you're just cooler than everyone else, right? Because you have solar, you're just cool. But my understanding also is that there are some tax credits or some tax breaks that come when you put solar on your roof. Describe those for me.
Well, it's referred to as the ITC, the investment tax credit, and it's a 30%. It's basically a dollar for dollar tax credit that you would otherwise pay toward your federal taxes. So if you spend $20,000 on qualified solar products, which is basically everything solar except for solar pool heating, because that's a luxury, but photovoltaic, solar hot water, etc., solar attic fans, then your net investment's really $14,000. So just think about something for a second. You're paying $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year, right? That goes up, between 2 and 8%, depending on which utility company you have. And not to mention, if your bill's $200, 25 of that is fees and taxes, gross taxes, municipality, taxes. So, basically, if you have, remind me the question again.
Well, I was just talking about the tax credits that
Okay.
you get for putting these like glass things on your roof.
So
That's what that's what I think about.
you spend 20 grand, you get a $6,000 tax credit.
Okay.
So now, let's say you're a real estate agent that made 80 grand a year, and you owe the IRS $16,000 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
In that case, you're likely going to owe them $16,000, but that's going to count as $6,000 toward that. Or if it's a husband and wife that work and get their taxes taken out, that's something that's going to be, surrendered back to them. So your net investment's 14 grand with an ROI, an honest ROI, not including interest or increase, but of $2,400 a year. It's kind of a no-brainer. We achieve a 7 to 9 year ROI on most all of our investments. And if you think about that, that's 12 to 15% return on your money that's collateralized and insured.
My air conditioning unit breaks down, right? So my house is hot.
Okay?
Can I call IQ Power Solar and sort of like wrap in the cost? Because $6 grand's a lot of money. I mean, most people don't have $6 grand laying around to replace their air conditioning unit. Is there any way to parlay that problem into solar without having to expend a bunch of cash down?
In other words, use the same unit.
Or no, I'm saying either use the same unit, or maybe they can like finance a crappier unit because I don't need a great unit because I have solar. I don't know. How does it work?
Well, we do have, we are a sister company with Del Air. Okay, so we do recommend them for our AC concerns. And we do have scenarios where we do finance that system with our program. An AC unit is not, doesn't qualify for the federal tax credit. So we have to be very careful about how we address that, But what's really cool is if you do, wrap that into the program, you end up financing $6 grand on a 20-year plan, and your payment's like $30.
So it is possible.
Wow.
It's severely possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that happen sometimes? I mean, is this a sort of a normal thing or no?
3 or 4 or 5 times a year, and actually, Del Air gets a lot of clients from IQ Power, and we get a lot of clients from Del Air, and it's a very, very good relationship.
All right, so let's talk about this. Sorry, logistically, when you get solar, you have to have like solar panels, right? I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't know how it works. You put these like glass things on my roof. How does this work?
What kind of equipment
Yeah.
do you use?
Okay, so solar photovoltaic specifically.
And if you have anything more concrete than the glass things on my roof, please elaborate, because that's all I know them as.
Well, they're solar panels. They're
Okay.
referred to mostly as solar PV. PV is
Okay.
short for photovoltaics. They're basically
Glass things.
photovoltaic cells that are in an anodized aluminum alloy frame, and they're between 250 to 355 watts. So basically, if you get a 5 kW system, which is probably about 15 to 18 panels based on the size of the panel, that's going to produce, and I'll just show you on the calculator real quick, that's going to produce 5 kilowatt hours, right? And every area has a certain amount of productive sunlight hours given to you by a graph produced by the EPA. So let's say times 5 hours a day, times an average of 30 days in a building cycle. That system will produce 750 kilowatt hours in a month. Now, that's direct current. So then the other equipment is the inverter, whether it's a string inverter or microinverters. When that gets turned into alternating current, which is the language that your home speaks, you lose between 12 and 8% based on the quality of the inverter and the chemistry it has with the panels. So, that right there will probably produce about 700 kilowatt hours roughly.
So I've been to many third world countries. I've been to the I think Costa Rica with you,
I've been there with you.
maybe Dominican Republic with you.
Maybe.
And so you go to these third world countries and the lights like flicker. You know what I mean? They don't have a great electric grid. You can
Right.
tell. So I imagine if I were to sign up with you and I get solar energy, my house is going to be like a third world country, right?
I don't make the connection, sorry.
I'm saying. So if I have solar and I'm relying on solar,
Did the
Do
lights ever
do my
flicker?
lights like flicker?
No.
Does my TV go off and on?
Actually, it's illegal to not be connected to the meter. It's there's something called net metering. You're still connected to the grid. You still have the full reliability of the grid. The photovoltaics or the solar panels go to the inverter, and the inverter's current is powered by the grid. So there's no light flickering when it.
I'm just asking. These are real thoughts that
So
I've
if that
had.
happens, it's a ghost.
Yeah,
We
you're right.
usually, these are literally worse than the average consumer asks.
321-282-1055. My name is Justin Clark. You're listening to Behind the Law. I have Stephen Bader here with me. He's from IQ Power Solar. We're talking about, my AC went bad. Should I put these glass things on my roof
These glass
and maybe do the solar thing? And what kind of tax credits are involved if I switch to solar? 321-282-1055. Justin Clark, Mick Dolan, Skid, Brianna, Stephen Bader, all here with you on Bud 94.1.
There's zero connection between AC and solar.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so illegal to put it on a contract.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, yeah, I know. But
Well,
it's
that's
just-
why we're
It's
asking.
hard for me to say that. Yeah. No, but we do it all the time now.
Yeah.
And the way that we structure it, these are off, right?
No, these are on.
Okay.
The mics are off.
Mics are off with these.
Yeah.
That's fine. We
the
do it all the
Facebook
time, but we just
I just
can't-
feel like that's probably something that comes up. Someone, they lose their AC unit and
Pay no
they're like,
attention.
look, I don't know what to do.
No, we do it all the time.
You're still stuck with your AC unit.
No, it's just a lot of companies do it and then they don't structure right. Like we do it legally where we don't try to give them a tax credit for their AC. But I mean, there's not really a connection. If your AC is bad, get a new AC. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty because it's if you have an efficient home, efficient insulated home, and your AC is the right size. Man, we can offset that cost for way cheaper than
Do
replacing
the
the
number
system.
of panels depend on how much sun you get towards your roof? Do I have to cut down a
Well,
tree
you
or
and
something?
him and we have the same calculation, but yeah, if you have a bunch of trees, it's not going to work. But
Okay. No, that's,
Trees over the house. Where
Yeah.
the panels
Yeah.
are.
and we actually
Yeah,
qualify.
I don't. That's why I was
No,
just. But,
well, if you call IQ Power, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Like when we talk to you, we would look at your house via satellite. We would qualify your home, and we would know all that data before we even came and talked to you. Most people don't really know how productive their roof space is.
Yeah.
That's our job. You know?
Ready?
all right, here we go.
Welcome back to the show. One more segment ahead. Thank you for spending some of your weekend here with me. 321-282-1055. My name is Justin Clark. Behind the Law, Bud 94.1. We're talking about solar energy and how it might help you at your residence. And Stephen Bader is here with me. IQ Power Solar. How do they reach out to you for more questions, Steve?
IQPowerSolar.com, or they can call 407-585-1018.
So you deal with homeowners all the time who are making this decision. Do I want to go solar or do I want to stay regular? It's almost like cable, right? We all still have cable or DirecTV or whatever, but a lot of us are saying, I might go buy that antenna. I might do one of these streaming services. And I think solar is a similar thought process for people. It's, look, we've just been taught since we were born that we just, we connect to this electric grid and we just pay whatever the government says we pay every month. And that number is going up and up and up. We're talking $300 a month on average in Florida for your electric bill. That's a lot of money, Mick Dolan. That's a lot of dough
You know, I'm thinking
every
about
month.
my bill, and it's not nearly that.
No?
Yeah, because I'm a cheap soul.
Yeah, because you're at 85 degrees, as we talked about earlier. But, Steve, there's a better way. I mean, you have a product that can reduce people's electricity bill every month down to $0, $20, $30. And how does it work?
Justin, what's your electric bill?
I'm telling you, it's like $350 or $400 a month.
You pay it every month?
Yeah, I mean, I see it come out of my account.
You ever have your electric turned off for non-payment?
Yeah, before I met Pilar all the time. I mean, I had the money in my account, bro. I was just like, I had no time.
But
When
if-
I was living downtown, I literally paid my electric bill when I came home at night and it was shut down. I was like, here we go again.
Oh, boy.
I would call OUC.
One
But since
time-
I met Pilar, it's never been cut off.
That's good.
Okay.
One time we were in.
You thought I was going to say no, of course.
No, one time we were in DR so long I had water turned off in my house.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of strange.
All right, so how does it work? I'm thinking about going to solar. I'm thinking about putting these panels on my roof. What sort of cost am I looking at up front, and then what sort of cost per month am I going to pay to have this electricity?
Well, you're already paying for it. Our programs don't really have upfront costs. We don't. It's not like a car lot where we say, "Oh, you need $8,000 down" or anything. All of our programs are no money down programs. We have a lot of programs where you don't have to pay anything.
Time out. Sorry. All right. So if I go buy a car, there, you watch the TV commercial. Like, you can lease this car $299 a month, and then you see on the bottom like, but you have to pay $5,000 up front. Are you telling me straight up right now, if I want to switch to solar, that there are programs I literally have to pay nothing down?
Yeah, almost all of our programs are no money down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay. So, and then, let's say you decide to go with one of our programs. We give you a system that, eliminates 80% of your electric bill. Instead of paying $400 to your electric company, which you're already paying. If we leave your house, you don't want to go solar, that's cool. Next month, guess what? $400. Which really blows my mind. You don't have solar already, Justin. But at the end of the day,
You haven't given me the hard sell.
You know our good friend Samir. Well, we don't hard sell anybody. But you know our good friend Samir.
Yeah.
Okay, he has a $400 electric bill. The last time we went to the Dominican Republic, we started talking about it, and now he has a system from us, and now he has a $25 electric bill.
Nice. Forever, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the systems have a 25-year warranty, and they're productively guaranteed. It's a linear warranty.
No money down. I heard that. No money down, right? So if you want to switch to solar, we have programs for no money down. Give me an idea of average monthly payment. I know it's all different, but give me like an average. So I have a $2,200, $150.
Yeah.
So now, as a consumer, I have to go through my head. All right, so no money down. I'm going to pay you $150 for the next 15, 20 years, whatever it's going to be. But that's offset by saving on my electricity bill, correct?
100%.
And so let's say the payment to you is $150.
You're 100% correct. It's not 100% offset.
Okay, so my payment to you is $150 to have solar. You're going to put the panels on my roof and everything. If I do that, now my electric bill goes down to what, on average?
Based on basically your electric bill, you're always going to save more than your payment. If it's a $230 bill that we sell you a system $150 payment, your bill will probably be $30. So,
a hurricane comes through one day. Are all these panels going to fly off my roof?
No, and if they do, you're insured. So,
what if I sell my home?
What's the question?
If I sell my home, do I have to go up and take these panels off the roof and take them with me? Do I have to put them in the pod in the front of my house, or do they stay there?
Does it
Do you
transfer?
take your pool with you or your kitchen cabinets with you?
So let me ask this. So let's say you put panels on my roof. Is there a lien? Because you get a big water filtration system, and they'll put a lien against your house. They're like, oh, don't worry, it's only $20,000. It's a second mortgage on your house.
How many of those do you have?
0. That's probably what's wrong with me.
Thanks to Pilar.
The question. I think the question is, if I go solar through IQ Power Solar, is there a lien against my house until I pay it off?
We don't use programs traditionally that lien your house. We have one program, and that's if there's a couple of different programs we go through and you're not qualified for, and then that's completely based on their acceptance. But those are much shorter terms.
I'm going to sell my home. The realtor comes to my house and says, hey, Justin, I think your house is worth $250,000. I love the upgrades you've done outside. I love the new kitchen that you've put in. And I've noticed you have solar. How does that affect the value of my home?
Okay, so this is a long answer. You're going to let me get through it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Traditionally, when you do an upgrade to your house, and Ali with Mecca Builders can tell you this, if you're doing a $30,000 or $40,000 kitchen remodel, they're going to pull the permit on the material cost. So if it's only $10,000 of custom cabinets, but it's a lot of custom labor, they're going to pull the permit on $10,000, right? And then that's going to be adjusted with the tax collector based on the permit fees. With solar, because you're being federally incentivized for the gross receipt cost, if it's a $30,000 system, we have to pull the permit on a $30,000 system. So, and all of our solar photovoltaic projects are engineered, inspected multiple times. They're inspected by the county, the local government, the utility companies. So basically, if it's going to cost a homeowner $200 less a month to live there, there's a formula that real estate agents would likely go to for any energy saving products. So if it's going to save you $2,500 a year, then they're going to multiply that between 12 and 15 years. So that system is going to, you know,
Save that much.
it should increase your home value between 25 and 32 grand, based on the age. Now, if it's 5 years in, you still have 20 years left on the warranty. So, but you know, if it's 21 years in, then there's, you know, it might be a little bit different.
I want to switch to solar. How long does it take to actually come out and put these panels on my roof?
And you're in Longwood, right?
We don't tell everyone where I live. I'm just kidding. I'm in Lake Mary.
Okay, so you live right by me.
15. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. No, so usually the permitting process is pretty decent, but it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to go through engineering and permitting, and then we usually install between 3.5 and 5 weeks, you know, weather permitting. But from the time we meet you to the time you're saving on your electric bill, it's 3 to 5 weeks.
IQ Power Solar. That is Stephen Bader. How do they reach it?
IQPowerSolar.com.
Mick Dillon, I know you have questions. I'm turning it to you.
I get this thing from OUC about their solar program. Do you know anything about that? Because I looked at the thing and I'm going, what are they talking about?
We tend to not, you know, trust the utilities companies too much on solar and their proactive actions toward it. OUC used to have some pretty aggressive incentives, especially toward solar hot water. They revoked those, and they also had some pretty good incentives for photovoltaics, and we have a lot of clients in the OUC corridor. But ultimately, these utility companies have an obligation and a responsibility. Where they get their energy from, it's referred to as their energy mix. You know, if they get some from natural coal or some from other sources,
Right.
they have a responsibility to get a certain percentage, be it 15 or 25 or 30%, from renewable sources. So now they're in this position where they're like, okay, we can either wait for consumers to become more and more independent, or we can, because they don't care who produces the solar, they just need to achieve a certain mix. And now they're like, wait a second, we have a collective of people that pay us every month. We don't want to lose that.
Right.
So now they just want to make sure they have more of a hand in creating the renewable.
Oh yeah, they
mix.
got to have
So
their finger in that pie
So-
for sure.
It seems to me
It
that
just
they're...
is very confusing though.
I understand that.
I don't understand.
And the average meeting in a home is 2 hours, because we don't, you know, we answer all the questions thoroughly. We don't, you know, let them interrogate us and bully us like Justin tried.
Yeah.
It seems to
He's a
me
lawyer,
that
you know.
it seems to me that people approach me all the time that are social media experts, right? They're like, we want to be your marketing guy, we're your social media guy, right? Just a proliferation of social media experts out there. Also, a proliferation of solar energy companies out there, and I think a lot of people are taking advantage of the homeowner and of the consumer. What should me, as a consumer, what should I be looking for as I decide what solar energy company I want to go with?
How long the company's been there? Solar Reviews. That's a huge thing. Solar Reviews is kind of an authority on reviews for solar. And one of the really cool things is most of the reviews are from people that have solar. It's not someone that met with someone or, you know,
Heard about it.
Yeah, I heard about it, but you know, it's really important. That's a really good question, because what you should really look for is viability. Because when you buy solar with a company, are they a sales model or are they a long-term service brand? And one of the huge value propositions that Ivy Gilbert provides for us, she's the CEO of IQ Power, by the way, is that we're building a huge service model. So as other companies go out of business and dissipate often, you know, we absorb them and we absorb client lists, and we're there to service them 5, 10, 15 years from now. And that's going to be more important than the purchase.
If you're thinking about finally putting those glass things on your roof and cutting down on your electricity bill every month, his name is Stephen Bader. IQ Power Solar website. One more time, sir.
IQPowerSolar.com.
Genius.
Super cryptic.
My name is Justin Clark. 321-282-1055 for my good friend Skid from 1031, The Wolf, the beautiful Brianna, Sophia, and Christian also here in the house today. Mick Dolan, I don't know much, but I do know one little thing.
What's that?
I'll see you right back here next Saturday on my favorite radio station, Bud 94.1.
All right. I was choking back a sneeze.
That was the most stressful conversation I've ever had in my life.
Really?
No, it's
I thought it was Softball City.
so,
Do you have a card
I'll
on you?
tell you what it is.
I would love to have
There's
one.
just so much, I think,